Today we will read textbook in Geography for class 8, Social Science, Resources and Development, page number 66, chapter number 6, Human Resources. People are a nation's greatest resource. Nature's bounty becomes significant only when people find it useful. It is people with their demands and abilities that turn them into resources. Hence, human resource is the ultimate resource. Healthy, educated, and motivated people develop resources as per their requirements. Human resources, like other resources, are not equally distributed over the world. They differ in their educational levels, age, and sex. Their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. We can see in this figure a lady is asking from these children, like, how many people do you think there are in the whole world? So one student is saying, my village has 1,000 people. This girl is saying, there are 500 children in my school. Then another boy is saying, there are 30 children in my class. So someone is saying 6.6 billion people. Do you know the government of India has a Ministry of Human Resource Development? The ministry was created in 1985 with an aim to improve people's skill. This just shows how important people are as a resource for the country. Distribution of population. The way in which people are spread across the earth's surface is known as the pattern of population distribution. More than 90% of the world's population lives in about 10% of the land surface. The distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven. Some areas are very crowded and some are sparsely populated. The crowded areas are South and Southeast Asia, Europe, and Northeastern North America. Very few people live in high latitude areas, tropical deserts, high mountains, and areas of equilateral forest. Many more people live north of the equator than south of the equator. Almost three quarters of the world's people live in two continents, Asia and Africa. 60% of the world's people stay in just 10 countries. All of them have more than 100 million people. Figure 6.1 is showing world population by continents. This color showing live in Asia. So this color live in Europe. Live in Africa. The purple color is showing. Then live in Central and South America. Blue color is showing. Live in North America. This pinkish color is showing, and this green color is showing live in Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Island. Figure 6.2 is showing world's most populous countries. This is population in million, and these are the countries. So highly populated is China, then India, then USA, then Indonesia, then Brazil, then Pakistan, then Bangladesh, Nigeria, Russian Federation, and Japan. Average density of population in India is 382 persons per square kilometer. Density of population. Population density is the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface. It is normally expressed as per square kilometer. The average density of population in the whole world is 51 persons per square kilometer. South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by East and Southeast Asia. In this figure we can see two people, one girl and one boy, are doing some activity. Like, the boy is asking, when all the 30 students are present our classroom seems very crowded, but when the same class is seated in the school assembly hall it seems to so open and empty. Why? The girl said, because the size of area of the hall is much larger than that of the classroom. However, when all students of the school come into the hall too starts looking crowded. Factors affecting distribution of population. Topography. Geographical factors. Topography. People always prefer to live on plains rather than mountains and plateaus because these areas are suitable for farming, manufacturing, and service activities. The Ganga Plains are the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains like Andes, Alps, and Himalayas are sparsely populated. Climate. People usually avoid extreme climates that are very hot or very cold, like Sahara Desert, polar regions of Russia, Canada, and Antarctica. Soil. Fertile soil provides suitable land for agriculture. Fertile plains such as Ganga and Brahmaputra in India, Huang He, Changjiang in China, and the Nile in Egypt are densely populated. Water. People prefer to live in the areas where fresh water is easily available. The river valleys of the world are densely populated while deserts have spare population. Minerals. Areas with mineral deposits are more populated. Diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East lead to setting of people in these areas. Social, cultural, and economic factors. Social. Areas of better housing, education, and health facilities are most densely populated. Example Pune. Cultural. Places with religion or cultural significance attract people. Varanasi, Jerusalem, and Vatican City are some examples. Economic. Industrial areas provide employment opportunities. Large number of people are attracted to these areas. Osaka in Japan and Mumbai in India are two densely populated areas. Life expectancy. It is the number of years that an average person can expect to live. Population change. The population change refers to change in the number of people during a specific time. The world population has not been stable. It has increased manifold as seen in the figure 6.3. Why? This is actually due to changes in the number of births and deaths. For an extremely long period of human history, until the 1800s, the world's population grew steadily but slowly. Large numbers of babies were born, but they died early too. This was as there were no proper health facilities. Sufficient food was not available for all the people. Farmers were not able to produce enough to meet the food requirements of all the people. As a result, the total increase in population was very low. In 1804, the world's population reached 1 billion. 155 years later, in 1959, the world's population reached 3 billion. This is often called population explosion. In 1999, 40 years later, the population doubled to 6 million. The main reason for this growth was that with better food supplies and medicine, deaths were reducing, while the number of births still remained fairly high. Births are usually measured using the birth rate. Example, the birth of live births per thousand people. Deaths are usually measured using the death rate, i.e., the number of deaths per thousand people. Migrants is the movement of people in and out of an area. Birth and deaths are the natural cause of population change. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate of a country is called the natural growth rate. The population increase in the world is mainly due to rapid increase in natural growth rate. Figure 6.3 showing world population growth. In this figure 6.3 we can see in 500 BC 100 million population, then 170 million it become, then in 1000 it become 265 million, in 1500 become 425 million, in 1800 it become 900 million, in 1900 it become 1625 million, in 1950 it become 2500 million, then in 1974 it become 4000 million, 1999 it become 6000 million, and in 2025 it would be 8525 million. In figure 6.4, we can see balance of population. We can see population increase when birth rate in more than death rate. This is birth rate more than death rate, population increase. Then we can see the population steady. Birth rate and death rate, same, population stays the same. When birth rate is same and death rate is same, this would be in balance. This figure is showing death rate more than birth rate, population decrease. When death rate is more than population decrease. Migration is another way by which population size changes. People may move within a country or between countries. Immigrants are people who leave a country. Immigrants are those who arrive in a country. Countries like the United States of America and Australia have gained in numbers by in-migration or immigration. Sudan is an example of a country that has experienced a loss in population numbers due to out-migration or immigration. The general trend of international migrations is from the less developed nations to the more developed nations in search of better employment opportunities. Within countries, large number of people may move from the rural to urban areas in search of employment, education and health facilities. Patterns of population change. Rates of population growth vary across the world. Figure 6.5. Although the world's total population is rising rapidly, not all countries are experiencing this growth. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. They had both high birth rate and death rates. Now, with improving healthcare, death rates have fallen, but birth rates still remain high, leading to high growth rates. In other countries like United Kingdom, population growth is slowing because of both low death and low birth rates. Figure 6.5 is world differing rates of population growth. So this is annual rates of natural increase. Blue color means very high, means 3% or more. So we can find the blue color is here and in these places. They have very high annual rate of natural increase, birth rate. Then high means this pinkish color is 2 to 2.9%. Nearby India also. Then moderate, which is 1 to 1.9%. India lies in this and all these places with this light green color. Then low, 0.9% or less. These are lows. And this means zero or decrease. Population composition. How crowded a country is has little to do with its level of economic development. For example, both Bangladesh and Japan are very densely populated, but Japan is far more economically developed than Bangladesh. To understand the role of people as a resource, we need to know more about their qualities. People vary greatly in their age, sex, literacy level, health condition, occupation and income level. It is essential to understand these characteristics of the people. Population composition refers to the structure of the population. The composition of population helps us to know how many males or females, which age group they belong to, how educated they are, and what type of occupations they are employed in, what their income levels and health conditions are. An interesting way of studying the population composition of a country is by looking at the population pyramid, also called an age-sex pyramid. This figure is showing think column. Every human being is potential resource for the society. What will be your contribution as a human resource? Here we can see 6 kind of people. So one lady is saying, I am researching for medicines to cure cancer. She is a doctor. Another one, he is a singer, he is saying I sing at weddings. This is saying I tell stories to my grandchildren. She is grandmother. Then this seems to be an engineer. I build bridges. This lady is saying I take care of my home. She is housewife. And this is I am a farmer. A population pyramid shows the total population divided into various R groups. Example 5 to 9 years, 10 to 14 years. The percentage of the total population subdivided into males and females in each of these groups. This is population pyramid. So this showing 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14 and onwards is showing age group years. Age group 0 to 4 years, 5 to 9 years, 10 to 14 years, 15 to 19 years, 30 to 24 and onwards up to 85 plus years. Then this is vertical line showing percent. This is like 8%, 6%, 4%, 2%, 0 and this is. We can see the this like 0 to 4 are these are the blue color are males and these are females. We can read like 85 plus is 0 to only this percent. It's very low. And the higher is 0 to 4. So male are more. Here this is showing the red colors is for females. The shape of the population pyramid tells the story of the people living in that particular country. The numbers of children below 15 years are shown at the bottom and reflect the level of births. The size of the top shows the numbers of aged people above 65 years and reflects the number of deaths. The population pyramid also tells us how many dependents there are in a country. There are two groups of dependents: young dependents aged below 15 years and elderly dependents aged above 65 years. Those of the working age are the economically active. The population pyramid of a country in which birth and death rates both are high is broad at the base and rapidly narrows towards the top. This is because although many children are born, a large percentage of them die in their infancy. Relatively few become adults and there are very few old people. This situation is typified by the pyramid shown for Kenya. So figure 6.7 is showing population pyramid of Kenya. Again this line is showing the age 0 to 4, 5 to 9 and this showing the percent. This is for males and this is for females. Figure 6.8 is showing population pyramid of India. This is showing age. This is showing the percentage of the purple color is showing for males and red color is for females. In countries where death rates, especially amongst the very young, are decreasing, the pyramid is broad in the younger age groups because more infants survive to adulthood. This can be seen in the pyramid for India. Figure 6.8. Such populations contain a relatively large number of young people and which means a strong and expanding labor force. In countries like Japan, low birth rates make the pyramid narrow at the base. Figure 6.9. Decreased death rates allow numbers of people to reach old age. Skilled, spirited and hopeful young people endowed with a positive outlook are the future of any nation. We in India are fortunate to have such a resource. They must be educated and provided skills and opportunities to become able and productive. Figure 6.9 is showing population pyramid of Japan. This figure is different from other figures. This chapter is complete.